Hello, my name is Otaviano Canuto. I am an executive director at the World Bank Group. And here today, I'm talking to Lusha Zhuang. Lusha is a brilliant Chinese young economist whom I have met first while she was a student at Columbia University. And she has already have a superb short but brilliant trajectory as an economist, and she's currently working at the International Monetary Fund. And I thought it would be interesting to take the chance and ask her a couple of questions because there is a lot to be learned with this young girl here. Lucia,
Yes,
uh,
Mr. Canuto.
you know, China. China has it's a almost $11 trillion economy. It has 1.4 billion people. Depending on the way one measures ethnicities, China has way more than 50 different ethnicities. Uh, and there you are, a young economist who decided to come and join the International Monetary Fund. First of all, to study economics and to be an economist at the IMF. Why did you take this decision? What brought you here?
Thank you, Mr. Canuto. Before answering that question, let me just say a few things. I'm very pleased to be interviewed by you, who is a remarkable role model for the world of economics and also a success story to be really admired. And I'm also very happy to be at this special place, CCTV America, our own national TV station here in Washington, D.C. And to answer your question, China has changing very rapidly before me, and it is a very interesting time to be involved in the field of economics because China is undertaking a lot of economic reforms, and the global economy is more interlinked than before. So for me, to choose economics as my career, and not only am curious about and interested in understanding the sophisticated economic models, but also to be more relevant to what is going on with Chinese reforms, and also to relevant to today's global economy. And I was trained in economics, both in undergrad study and also graduate study, and specifically in policy design while in Columbia University. It's my recent study. And then in IMF, it allows me to have hands-on experience with policy design and to have the chance to monitor the country's most recent economic developments and also to meet like-minded people who have similar passion as I am.
Great. Well put it. Lucia and I did a work on the Chinese shadow banking system. And I have never asked her that. Uh, why did you get this interest in knowing better the Chinese shadow banking system?
Yes, shadow banking, as you know, you co-authored with me, is growing at a remarkable speed. Yet the size is not that huge compared to U.S. U.S. has now 40%, around 40% of the global shadow banking sector. China only has 8%, but it grew from around 2% in 2010, which is a huge change for Chinese economy, while U.S. has decreased by 1% from 2010. And my motivation really comes from the relevance to Chinese people's life because, you know, in China, the economy has a high savings rate and the households invest a lot nowadays, a lot of this money into shadow banking assets. And because of the nature of the off-balance shadow banking assets, people don't really have many ways to find out the risks underlying those projects, and even worse, sometimes people don't know where their money are going into, what type of projects are this. So I thought it would be very meaningful and relevant to put this into the form of paper to analyze shadow banking today in China, and what are the new forms of shadow banking, and what are the underlying risks, and how does the risk transmit into the commercial banks and to people's lives.
Very well.
Yeah.
Well, and that's exactly what we try to highlight in our paper. Now, Lucia, you had your graduate studies in Colombia. It happens that I also have a daughter who's currently taking her master's in architecture there. Right. And so I can't avoid it. Which memory, which side of your experience at Columbia comes to the fore? Is the one that you like to remember?
So on top of my mind, the thing really comes first is Lehman Library in SIPA, because I know that sounds not very fun, but that is really the place where a lot of things taking place during my school year at Columbia. And that is also the place where a lot of interesting discussions and debates happen between me and my then classmates, who are a group of very talented economists from different countries. And I still remember those topics till date, like FDI to Chinese real GDP growth. Is it really relevant? And like Abenomics at that time, and also like the geopolitical relationship in Asia. And Lehman Library is an interesting place. It's in the underground, so it's like kind of like a underground gathering point. We meet
hidden knowledge
yes.
there,
Exactly.
available to
So,
those who
yeah.
explore the treasure.
Right, right, exactly. So that's my, I think, most memorable place.
It rings a bell with my daughter's Louisa's statement on her amusement with the libraries that she has met there at Columbia.
Right.
Now, I want you to give me a quote.
Sure. A quote that leads my life belief or career. Okay. That would be a line from a poem by Robert Frost, an American poet. Miles to go before I sleep. By the poem, stopping by the woods on a snowy evening. That's a line I like the most because it is about the nature. One part of the poem is like this: miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. After he stopped by a forest and see beautiful natural scenery, and he still remind himself of the promises he has to keep as a traveler. I have many promises to my families, my friends, and my passion for my career. Though miles to go ahead of me, but I will still keep those promises at heart. So that's why it's very meaningful to me.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
This is Lusha Zhuang. Brilliant as I told you she is. Thank you, Lucia, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Canuto.